close, the Oklahoma quarterback took a big step towards becoming a star in the NFL, but that doesn't necessarily mean playing in the MLB is out of the question. USA Today: complexion of the 2019 NFL Draft may have already changed significantly. Heisman Trophy-winning Oklahoma star Kyler Murray threw his name into the hat, for now anyway, ahead of Monday's deadline for underclassmen to declare their intentions. And though options remain open for Murray, he moonlights, sunlights, as an outfielder and has already been selected in the first round of Major League Baseball's draft by the Oakland Athletics. His potential availability to NFL teams could add quite a bit of spice to a player pool that appears heavily skewed toward defense. So what if Murray is on the board when the draft kicks off April 25th in Nashville, Tennessee? Here's a very early scenario of how the first round might unfold. Oklahoma QB Kyler Murray accounted for 54 touchdowns in 2018. Photo: Kevin J. Raj, USA Today Sports. 1. Cardinals, Quinnen Williams, DT, Alabama. The Cards go to all the trouble of earning the top pick with a 3-13 record, yet they don't need a quarterback after taking Josh Rosen in 2018, and there doesn't appear to be a slam-dunk offensive player worthy of the No. 1 selection, even though Arizona ranked last in yards gained and points scored. And unless Murray unexpectedly provokes a bidding war between, say, the Giants and Jaguars, GM Steve Keim is likely going to have a difficult time unloading this choice. Luckily for Keim, his team also stinks at stopping the run, allowing a league-worst 154.9 yards per game on the ground this past season. Williams, 6'4", 295 pounds, can definitely help close some of those holes, yet also excels at flattening quarterbacks. 8 sacks in 2018, which could make him a really nice interior complement to Arizona edgeman Chandler Jones. 2. 49ers, Greedy Williams, CB, LSU. San Francisco could go any number of directions for a defense that failed to make big plays, and part of the problem was a league-low 2 interceptions. The Niners also surrendered an NFC-worst 35 touchdown passes. It would appear getting a capable youngster opposite Richard Sherman, especially one who nicely added to the impressive corner lineage in Baton Rouge, would pass the common sense test. 3. Jets, Nick Bosa, Ohio State. New York's perpetual search for pass rush help in the post-New York sack exchange era has been just about as fruitless as its quest for a post-Joe Namath franchise quarterback. But at this exceedingly early, pre-combine juncture, Bosa is considered by many to be the best player in the whole draft, even after truncating his junior season to rehabilitate a core muscle injury and prepare for his NFL career rather than attempt a return to the Buckeyes. The younger brother of Charger star Joey Bosa, Nick had 8.5 sacks and 16 tackles for loss in 2017. 4. Raiders, Clelin Ferrell, Clemson. Maybe you'd heard Khalil Mack finished with 12.5 sacks in 14 games, a half sack fewer than Oakland posted for the entire season. It's not fair to tag Ferrell with a Mack comparison, but he is arguably the best player from the national champs' deep and talented front. He'd surely see extensive double teams in Oakland, but this is an area the Raiders simply can't ignore in a division currently ruled by Patrick Mahomes and Phillip Rivers. 5. Buccaneers, Jonah Williams, OT, Alabama. Tampa Bay just hired coach Bruce Arians, Mr. No Risk It, No Biscuit, which often entails deep dropbacks from the quarterback followed by deep downfield shots. To that end, Jameis Winston probably already needed bolstered protection, but it's also a key need with LT Donovan Smith headed for free agency. A 29th ranked run game could also use additional help up front. More opinion. Every newly hired NFL head coach still has at least one question left to answer. 6. Giants, Kyler Murray, QB, Oklahoma. There's going to be a wide spectrum of evaluations for the diminutive Sooner star, and his height, 5'9", 5'10", will likely be the sticking point. But simply put, if you could conceivably pair a quasi-facsimile of Russell Wilson with Saquon Barkley, is there much more to consider? Murray is a dual threat with plenty of arm, 4,361 yards and 42 TDs passing in 2018, and excellent wheels, 1,001 yards and 12 TDs rushing. And given how well smallish Baker Mayfield transitioned from Norman to Cleveland, more reason to believe Murray could be up for the challenge. 2.7. Jaguars, Ed Oliver, DT, Houston, Jacksonville will obviously be in the QB market. But for the purposes of this drill, let's assume, for now, that a team capable of quickly returning to contending status opts to pursue a veteran such as Nick Foles, Joe Flacco or Eli Manning. Meanwhile, the Jags might also be in the process of turning over their defensive line. Malik Jackson has already said he expects to be cut, but we know Tom Coughlin likes a deep group that can generate pressure without blitz help. Oliver could be especially dangerous if dropped between Calais Campbell and Yannick Ngakoue. 8. Lions, Rashawn Gary, Michigan. Detroit didn't get much on passing downs from its D-line, and it won't help losing free agent Ziggy Ansah, as unreliable as he could be. Gary could not only solidify a deficiency, he has the versatility to move around, a trait Matt Patricia would value given his affinity for employing multiple fronts. 9. Bills, Josh Allen, OLB, Kentucky. Admittedly, it's fairly irresistible to assign them Josh Allen in the first round a year after they picked Josh Allen, quarterback version, in the first round. And, yes, the quarterback obviously needs play-making help more than a second-ranked defense needs to be upgraded. But drill down a bit deeper. As badly as Buffalo needs a No.1 receiver or a replacement for RB LeSean McCoy, it would be reaching for that kind of player at this spot. The Wildcats star and reigning Southeastern Conference Defensive Player of the Year, Allen had 17 sacks in 2018, would hardly be a luxury for a front seven losing Kyle Williams to retirement and facing free agency for Lorenzo Alexander. Allen could also displace undersized Jerry Hughes. 30. Only 6 teams had fewer sacks than Buffalo's 36 in 2018.10. Broncos, Dwayne Haskins, QB, Ohio State, boasting prototype size, 6'3", 220, and coming off a season when he hoisted a Big Ten record 50 TD passes, he'll certainly pose a valid argument that he's a superior prospect than Murray and should, perhaps, be the Giants' choice at No. 6. But the redshirt sophomore started only one season in Columbus, and his gaudy 70% completion rate can belie some accuracy issues, particularly coming out of an offense that generates easy completions on jet sweeps behind the line of scrimmage. More, 9 quarterbacks likely available to NFL teams in 2019, and the teams that need them 11. Bengals, Greg Little, OT, Mississippi. Cincinnati's O-line was brutal in 2018. Given the anticipated hire of Zach Taylor, it only makes sense to begin laying a new foundation up front, given starting RT Bobby Hart should be on the way out the door along with 2015 draft blocking bust Cedric Ogbuehi and Jake Fisher. 12. Packers, Deontay Thompson, Alabama. Green Bay invested heavily at corner in the 2018 draft but now needs help on the back end after shipping out former tight FS Clinton Dix in a mid-season trade. Thompson appears to have the modern safety skill set that allows him to thrive against the pass and run. 13. Dolphins, Drew Lock, QB, Missouri. He is big, 6'3", 225, and experienced 4-year starter, and was all SEC in 2017 after throwing for a conference record 44 TDs. Lock, who isn't the athlete that Miami incumbent Ryan Tannehill is, does need to improve his accuracy after completing fewer than 57% of his college throws. 14. Falcons, Christian Wilkins, DT, Clemson, a versatile defender and exceptional leader, the Tigers star might also winding up plugging a hole in Atlanta if DT Grady Jarrett can't be resigned. 15. Redskins, Montez Sweat, OLB, Mississippi State. With one former Bulldogs edge player, Preston Smith, headed for free agency, Washington could opt for the Sweat solution in order to add more firepower to its front. 7.16. Panthers, Cody Ford, OT, Oklahoma. A battered Carolina offensive line has already lost another starter with stalwart C. Ryan Khalil headed for retirement. forward, 6'4", 338, could be an option inside or out for a unit that must better safeguard Cam Newton, who broke down late in the season. 17, Browns, Jeffrey Simmons, DT, Mississippi State, a defense on the rise could still use some disruption inside to improve on its No. 28 ranking defending the run. 18, Vikings, Devin White, LB, LSU, the O-line should be a priority for Minnesota but could be tough to address at this juncture. White, 6'1", 240, isn't as big as free agent to be Anthony Barr, but his ranginess might make him a better fit in Mike Zimmer's defense. 19, Titans, Jachai Polite, OLB, Florida, with Brian Orakpo retiring and Derek Morgan's contract expiring, Tennessee needs another effective edge presence opposite Harold Landry, last year's second-rounder. 20, Steelers, Byron Murphy, CB, Washington. It seems like Pittsburgh is always struggling to solidify the corner position. Murphy has the blend of youth and talent that might finally provide a long-term solution. 21, Seahawks, Brian Burns, Florida State. He'll need the NFL nutrition plan to add heft to his 6'5", 235-pound physique. But Seattle might need a pass rusher like Burns if unsigned Frank Clark gets away this year or next. 22, Ravens, Zach Allen, Boston College, at 6'5", 285 pounds, his frame is ideally suited for Baltimore's front. Yet, with 30.5 TFLs over the past 2 seasons, Allen does more than suck up blocks. 23, Texans, Jawan Taylor, OT, Florida. Does any club need blocking more than Houston, which surrendered a league-worst 62 sacks and barely got more than 4 yards per carry from its running backs? 24, Raiders, from Bears, Devin Bush, LB, Michigan. Oakland's struggles at the defense's second level are nearly as pronounced as its pass rush issues. Bush is only 5'11" and barely more than 230 pounds, but his speed and dog play would be valued by John Gruden and new GM Mike Mayock. 25, Eagles, DeAndre Baker, CB, Georgia. Imagine how poorly a 30th ranked pass defense would have fared without such a capable line to mask its shortcomings. Dropping in this season's Jim Thorpe Award winner would be a step in the right direction. 26, Colts, DK Metcalf, WR, Mississippi. His 6'3", 230-pound build would be quite the contrast opposite D.Y. Hilton and a nice investment for a team that could use a steady No. 2 receiver. 27, Raiders, from Cowboys, N'Keal Harry, WR, Arizona State. Got to get Derek Carr and Amari Cooper replacement before round 1 is over, right? Harry has a nice combo of size, 6'3", 216, speed and production, 155 catches, 2,230 yards and 17 TDs over the last 2 seasons. 28, Chargers, Draymond Jones, DT, Ohio State. Perhaps a more active interior defender between Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram wouldn't force the Bolts to go undersized with so many DBs against the run. 29, Patriots, Daniel Jones, QB, Duke, right? He has a Tom Brady body, 6'4", 220, and, as a Dookie, presumably Brady smarts. This has to be the year Bill Belichick launches the Garoppolo 2.0 plan. Right. 30, Chiefs, Taylor Rep. S. Washington. Sadly, it might be time to begin planning for life without Eric Berry. 31, Packers, from Saints, Noah Fant, Iowa. Jimmy Graham might be one and done in Green Bay. Fant moves the sticks and finds the end zone, 18 TDs over the past 2 seasons. 32, Rams, Jerry Tillery, DL, Notre Dame. Could be tough to fit in Ndamukong Suh under the salary cap again, but that doesn't mean Los Angeles can afford to let teams double-team Aaron Donald without fear of repercussion. Draft order still to be determined. Follow Nate Davis on Twitter at @BynatAdavis. If you love talking football, we have the perfect spot for you. Join our new Facebook group, The Ruling Off the Field, to engage in friendly debate and conversation with fellow football fans and our NFL insiders.